Hey guys, how's it going? DUJ2 here, and welcome back to Fortnite Save the World, and welcome to my review, or part 2 I guess, of the Hot Mix, the new Boombox Pistol that we just got. I know I already did a first look on it. You guys know, whenever we get a new weapon, or even a new hero from the weekly store, which is where we got this. If you still don't know where to get this guy, all you got to do is go over here to the item shop, go over to the items, over here in the weekly items, it'll be the first one, because I've already bought mine, it's right there. That's where you get it, that's how you buy it. Now, is it worth it? Is it worth the 1,680 gold? I will tell you a resounding yes, it is worth it. It does have some major drawbacks. I'm going to talk about those two in a second, but it does definitely have some serious bonus points, some positive points that I'm also going to go over. Now, if you want to see my first video where I first bought it, where we leveled it up, where I first tested it, you guys can go check it out. I'm going to leave the link right up there in the corner. Just go check out. It's going to be a little eye. Click on the eye, and you're going to be able to go see that first video. Now in this video, I'm going to do something a little different than I've normally done. I'm going to talk about the weapon, because this weapon could most definitely go in one of two directions. And it really matters what you decide to do with your commander setup, what you decide to do with your hero loadout. That right there is going to be the most important thing about this, because there are three setups you can run, and out of these three setups, one of them is most definitely going to give you the most damage. Now, I've said this before, and I think this is really important. With Save the World now, it used to be that you had to focus on the weapon itself, depending what you did on the weapon, how you perked it, etc. I'm talking way back from before we had the perk recombobulator system and before we had the new hero loadout system. It used to be all about the weapons, guys. That's what mattered. So when you got a weapon, it mattered what the perks were, it mattered what the passive perk was, it mattered everything you could do here, because there wasn't really much you could do to buff it on the hero loadout side. That has drastically changed. Now we have the capacity to create hero loadouts that will take a weapon to a whole different level, and it depends which path you choose, which build you want to do concerning your perks. There is no longer, well, there is still one way of doing it if you're looking to hit a very high damage. For example, today during my stream, which thank you very much all of you guys who showed up, so many new people, you guys got to see that with the new what's it called, with the new shotgun, where is he, there he is, the woofer, I was able to hit over 1 million damage against a smasher. And then in another instance, I did over 1.3 and over 1.6 million damage. 1,600,000 damage with the woofer. And I haven't seen that kind of damage yet with the pulsar. Now, yes, it was because of team perks, because of all that good stuff. You know, we're not going to get into that right now. But it was amazing to see, this is my build for it, just what you're able to do with this weapon. It's beautiful, guys. It's actually very beautiful. And yes, if you are looking for max damage, without a doubt, go critical. Okay, the more critical damage you put on a weapon, the higher you're going to be able to hit. That's just plain and simple math right there. Okay, guys, that's just how this game is designed. That's how it's made. Like I said, if you're looking for the damage, make sure you put a ton of critical damage on this weapon. That's what's going to give you that bonus right here. That's going to multiply your damage, and boom, you're gonna blow up. Now with this weapon, like I said, I'm going to talk about the two different builds you can do with this weapon. Now let's go into it and let me talk about this. So right now, I'm not going to fully work on this weapon yet, because there's going to be a part 3. there's going to be a part 3 of this video, and in that part 3 you guys are going to see what I'm going to end up doing with this weapon. And I know it's actually not what you guys expect, but there is a particular pistol setup that I want to try, which I'm going to talk in a second about, that I want to go from there. Now right now the hot mix, I thought I could make it a water. Apparently I can't. So I can make it physical, element, or fire. Sorry, physical, energy, or fire. I think I'm just going to keep it physical. I might take it to energy maybe if I want that added bonus, because this, just like the Wolfer, is going to be a complement. Now I'm probably going to be running the hot mix side by side with the Zap Zap. If you don't know why the Zap Zap, you gotta come to one of my streams. I love the Zap Zap. It's still my favorite pistol, and the hot mix is giving me the opportunity to finally do something that I have been waiting for so long, which is building a Zap Zap critical setup. And I'll show you guys in a second what hero loadout we're going to use, because that's the important part here. But the hot mix right now, the way that I have it, it doesn't really need a reload. That natural reload is so high, so this reload can go away. I'm actually thinking about changing this, keeping this. I'm thinking of keeping this as a double critical, double crit rate weapon. It's possible too that if I really wanted to, I could just keep, I'm thinking of maybe I could do a damage, double critical damage, and 1 crit rating if I really wanted to go that route. That's something I could do. But right now, the way that I'm kind of balancing it out, it would be making it a double critical rating, double critical damage weapon. And that's going to be pretty good. Okay, that's going to be pretty good. That's going to take the critical damage to 135 once it's legendary. It's going to be a pretty good critical weapon. Now, like I said, I might try and make it a double critical damage, 1 critical rating, and 1 damage weapon, to just try and see just how much damage I can get out of it. It's got a pretty good magazine size, it does a pretty good amount of damage, and like I said, I'm going to use it in a side-by-side with, well, I'm going to pair it with another weapon, and that weapon is going to be the Zap Zap. Now, like I said, we're going to see this in the 3rd part of this series. I'm going to do one more video where I need to go and farm a bunch of legendary and epic perk up, because I know not only do I need to work on this weapon, but I'm going to work on my Zap Zap. Not this one. This is my Bright Core Zap Zap. This guy is staying just how he is. I love him in this setup, but I've always wondered what would happen if I were to work on a Sunbeam, a Shadow Shard Zap Zap, and use it as a crit. And I just so happen to have one here. So I have a Shadow Shard one here. I'm going to change this one around, and I'm going to focus on the crits. I'm going to try and make this as critical as a weapon as I possibly can. And then I'm going to pair that one with the new hot mix, and we're going to take it in and we're going to try out. I'm going to spend a ton of materials to do this, but I really want to see just how much I can get out of this weapon. Now, you may be wondering, why am I not doing it right now? Well, it's because this video is going to be long enough with what we're going to get into right now, which is hero loadouts. If you guys remember at the beginning of this video, I did say the thing about this game now is that it's turned into an amazingly awesome game, guys. This game is just, it's so wonderful, because we no longer have to worry about just the setup of the weapon, but now, because we have in certain situations several different heroes and hero loadouts that we can pick and choose from, that we can really create something really awesome. Now, this is the setup I was using today. I gotta tell you, I was actually doing pretty good. I did some pretty good damage with the hot mix, as you saw it. I played with it for a few matches. I did fine. I did perfectly fine. Actually, I did realize that I wasn't really triggering the dancing that much, so that was a little concerning, but it was good. We were actually going into high-level missions too. It wasn't bad. It was not bad at all. And I just realized I only have 1 phase blaster. I know that's no wonder I wasn't getting the phase blaster. So we could change this to some other. We can change this to some other one. But anyway, so there's 3 different setups that you could run right now with a pistol. Basic setups that I think I would use. I use Survivalist. Right now I've been using Wukong because that explosive round is not bad. It's nice. I've been using Locked and Reloaded because every time you switch a weapon, you get that extra damage. I think because I'm also going to be using, you know what? I think because I'm also going to be using my Zap, I'm going to put in Preemptive Strike there. I might change this to higher healing in the future, but for right now, we might change it there. But then we got to talk about these three individuals right here. We've got Mr. Ranger Deadeye, we've got Calamity right here, and we've got Miss Beetle Jess. These three heroes right there are going to be what I would recommend that you, well, of course, it's what everyone's going to recommend to use in this pistol setups. Now, let me explain why there's three different setups. There's one setup that I will tell you right now. If you want damage, just go Beetle Jess, okay? Just go Beetle Jess. Just go the go with Beetle Jess. Go with the full double critical, 1 crit rating and damage setup, which like I said, I'm going to try to see just how much damage you can get out of this. But something that a lot of you guys who've been watching for a while, you may know, I'm not a total fan of this, but I haven't always been a complete fan of the critical setups, the critical builds, because it feels so one-dimensional. It feels like if you want more damage, you just go crit, you just go crit, you just go crit. And then there's certain setups, like for example, the LMG crit. You know, I think I still have them up here. Yeah, so my assault crit setup, you know, an LMG crit setup, there is the 555% critical setup with first shot Rio. So with ARs, you've got not just one way of doing crits, but you can actually do crit setups in multiple different ways and do some really cool stuff. There's some really cool stuff that you can pull off with ARs, and I kind of feel like in this case we're starting to come around to that. Now, really quickly, let me just show you guys here. If we were to go with Ranger Deadeye has as a commander perk 50 across the board, 50 SMG bonus damage. It's not going to change, it's not going to adjust, it's not going to do anything but just give you 50% all the time. That's pretty good. But he does make you a little one-dimensional. It does make you a little one-dimensional because you know what? But this is if in case, you know, this is like, this right here is my default setup for when I try any single pistol. Any new pistol, I just try with this setup. I guess SMGs now too. If you guys remember back when we started working on the Plasmatron 9000, you guys may remember that I had a different setup back then. Because the Plasmatron 9000 does not rely on reloading, then we use that really fun we use that fun setup where we put in Crackshot and we put those heroes that gain stacks, and it was fun. It was so much fun. You guys remember just how much damage we were able to get the Plasmatron 9000. But the main problem of that setup is that it was very one-dimensional as well. You could only use one weapon. There is no other SMG or pistol that also just gives you that. There's none other that you can just stack up. Now, I could have used this with, let's say, my Candy Corn LMG and my Duet as well. We could have done that, but the Plasmatron 9000 setup was very unique and just for that. If you were okay using just the Plasmatron 9000, holding down the trigger and just mowing down enemies, then that was an option you could do. It was a fun option, but you know, it did do a lot of damage. It did do a lot of damage. It was fun. Even though the damage was low, it did do a considerable amount of damage just because of that. Look at that. It was awesome. Anyway, so you have those kind of setups. Now you have, like I said, there's three different heroes that we can use. There's Ranger Deadeye, and the next one is going to be Calamity. Calamity is going to give you, and this is again like where I told you guys the modifications come in here. If you notice, her commander perk is increased pistol damage by 60% and impact by 75%. That's wonderful. And you think, well, why aren't you going to use her instead of Ranger Deadeye? Well, right here, it's only for the first 6 shots. This is definitely made for the smaller range pistols. Now, if I was going to use Quick Draw Calamity, guess what weapons I would use? I would use the Ghost Pistol, I would use the 6-shooter, the last word, and I would use the Zap. weapons that are going to have a much smaller magazine. So within first 6 shots. It's not a good idea to use her for Plasmatron 9000 because the magazine never ends, and it's not a good idea to use her with the new hot mix because the magazine is going to be much larger than that. So you're not going to be able to use her to the best advantage. But she's pretty awesome, isn't she? 60% increase in damage and impact by 75. That impact right there would really help you in a lot of situations. The Zap Zap would just be the Zap Zap is a complete just monster when you use her with her. And finally, like I said, if you just want to go straight damage, which like I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to build a Zap Zap, a critical Zap Zap. I'm going to build the hot mix as critical as I can. And then we are going to run Miss Beetlejuice as our main commander. Why? Because she increases pistol and SMG critical damage by 225%. Right now, she's giving us 75%, but that 225, that's an extra 150. That's an extra 150% that we're going to get of damage from her. So that's what we're going to run. We're going to try and build those two, the crit Zap Zap. We're going to build a crit hot mix, and we're going to run her, and we're going to try and see just how much damage we can get. Now, this does mean that I'm going to have to stick with that setup when I want to use that. But you know what? Like I said before, I'd rather use the last word, the Zap Zap, or the Ghost Pistol, or any other pistol with a very low magazine if I'm going to use Calamity. And again, if I'm going to be using any pistol or SMG, I'm just going to throw in Ranger Deadeye. Ranger Deadeye is going to be a good, base test to see just how good. Unfortunately, he does need a little bit of a buff. Ranger Deadeye needs a tiny little bit of a buff because the 50% is great, but he needs to have some sort of reloads faster, or I don't know. There needs to be some extra little oomph there for him to be able to really deliver much more. But there you guys go. And apart from that, like I said, if I was going to do the unlimited, the Plasmatron 9000, I have a video out there about the Plasmatron 9000. You guys can go see it. You can see exactly what I built there. It's crazy. It's huge damage. It's amazing. I love it so much. And then we got the 6-shooter setup with Calamity, and of course the Beetlejuice setup. And keeping the rest kind of pretty much the same, but we're going to try it. I'm going to try it in the next video, guys. Let me know if you want to see that. Let me know if you guys want to see it, because if you don't want to see it, well, I'm not going to do it. I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to do it because it's going to be fun. I will be releasing that video soon. I just want to make this video right now, just talk with you guys about both, because the biggest question I got today, and I've gotten since I released my hot mix video, the first one, was what do the heroes do? What do the heroes do, and why does everyone use Beetlejuice? So that's why I want to show you guys that, remember, we do have multiple different areas, and it wasn't until the hot mix appeared. It wasn't until the hot mix appeared and I was like, you know what? It's finally time to really seriously work on some pistol setups and talk to you guys about them, because before that I just had the Zap Zap. The Zap Zap was great. You couldn't really pair the Zap Zap with the Plasmatron. You guys know that. And there hasn't really been any other pistol that I'm like, oh, I love this pistol. I gotta use this pistol. Now that we have the hot mix, I have a reason. I have a reason to set this up, show you guys. This is gonna be my new 1-2 punch. I'm gonna be using the hot mix, hopefully to stun, cause that affliction, and then wrap it up with my Zap Zap. I'm really excited to see what a critical Zap Zap can do. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. As always, I am DUJ2. This has been Fortnite Save the World, pretty much just talking, guys. I know this would have turned into like an hour-long video if we were gonna work on these weapons. But in the next video, guys, you guys are gonna see me. I'm gonna have the Zap Zap ready. I'm gonna have the hot mix ready. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go into a match where I'm gonna show you guys, probably just with the Beetlejuice setup, see if that is going to be my new pistol setup, which I'm very excited to, because you guys know I love my Zap Zap. I still think the Zap Zap is the greatest pistol in the game, the greatest weapon in the game. And I really look forward to seeing just how this weapon can complement it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. As always, I am DUJ2. If you enjoy this video, guys, if you enjoy what I do on my channel, please do me a huge favor. Have yourself a wonderful day. Thanks a lot, and I will see you guys I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.